Salesforce releases. So Salesforce is like we all know that it's a huge one, Salesforce, right? So in Salesforce releases, Salesforce always they will make it up like a we have to manage the what are the current marketing uses. So because of that, they have giving us the releases like a other technologies. Java is having a Java version 1.0, 1.2, 1.3. Similar like Salesforce is also has a releases. Release is nothing but release is whenever we say release is nothing but there is a new future. Either could be possible that a new feature is introduced or some enhancement they are doing on the existing one or they are updating the existing functionality. Updating the existing functionality. Release is nothing but something Salesforce is releasing either on top of the current one, whatever the new features, latest features. Like so far, if you look at way back, we were not having the Einstein AI, these were not there. So Salesforce has introduced those new features, how to use it. So those all they have introduced. Similarly, enhancement new enhancement they have released it. Similarly, updates on existing functionality. Like that, they will be having the releases. Now, in a year, how many releases Salesforce is having? So Salesforce has a seasonal based release. That means there are three seasonal, like a major one is three releases. So winter release, we will call it as the winter. And the next one is a spring release. And the third one is a summer release. Every year we will have a winter, spring, summer. Now winter will be whatever the like every release you will be either you will see either new feature or enhancement or could be possible that only updates they are giving like there are no new features but only the updates they are giving it or some better way to query the records, better way to retrieve the records, reducing the developer effort. So these all related information you can find it in the release. So whenever there is a release is happening, for example, winter release is there or spring release is there or there is a summer release there. So if I wanted to know what is included this release, because before releasing the Salesforce releases, before any release here. So first Salesforce is going to provide us some kind of a documentation. Right now they are providing us some kind of a documentation. So every developer has to go through the documentation because even Salesforce is give us the alert like at this time this particular org is getting updated with the latest release. So where we can see in the status.salesforce.com. You see in the salesforce.status.com. If you go to the trust.salesforce.com, so you can view your particular org. The particular org instance, what are the instances there and whichever the one is available. So it will give you that whether when is the latest update is happening and what is the maintenances that are available. Let's say AP12. So if you go to the maintenance, it will give you the information. So the last release was happened winter 24. So it was winter 24. on Saturday. Between this time it happened. So now next release is spring 23. So winter.
Ma'am, 24 you mentioned. We've not reached 24, right?
But the Salesforce will be the much ahead of it. So they will be having a winter will be released during this time, winter time, either September or November, December, but they will name it as a 24 because that is coming years. So here we have a winter 24. And if you look at this maintenance, it will give you like a spring 24. Next is the spring 24, which is coming on release. Most probably it will be in the February. So sequence will be the sequence. You will have a winter, spring, summer. This is the same sequence. So winter 24, currently we are in. So next year, February or month of March. So they will be going for a spring. So if you want more details, you can go to the this YouTube channel. And in case if you wanted to see the documentation, what are the documentations will be available, like in the spring 24. If I wanted to know what are the releases, that new releases are coming. So just search here spring 24 release notes. So you will have a spring 24 release notes. Open this spring 24 release notes. No, these are everything is in spring 24 release notes. Now you need to choose it which one you are interested. Are you interested in Omni Studio or a data cloud deployment or a development? Let's say development or a sales service. If you look at the sales, in the sales, we have a email, calendar, sales cloud. So these are available. If you want to look at only the development part of it, so you can look at only the development part of it, Apex. So there are few ideas were open in the Apex. So this is kind of a contains use the null operators. So this is one change which they were doing in the select query. In the select query, you can use the question mark. So by using the question mark, you can query. So these are the different ideas they were released it. So you can identify that what are the changes are coming here. Everything you can go through the. So this is another one, type.per_name method. So they have made some changes here. So they will give everything here. What is the change and where should we use it? How it will be affected? Which version onwards it will be affected? So if you have a API version 55 or 54, this change might not work. So API version 60.0 and later, this behavior will be included. And also DML changes. So they were doing some DML changes. So limits accounting with the DML on external object. So these everything you can see here. Right? So these are the details you will find it. So your company, wherever the company you are joining it, your company also give you the link to go through the documentation before any updates. So usually we will get an email from the architect or a leads saying that spring 24, these are the highlights for related to our project. So they will inform us. So you can go through this YouTube channel. And also a few questions you might hear during the interview, like what are the releases in Salesforce? How many releases we have in Salesforce? And what is the current release in Salesforce? How do I identify what is the current release in Salesforce? Now, when you log into the Salesforce, how do you identify which one is your current release? Right? Let's say, okay, what is the URL? I need to find out the. Let me try the password. So if you go to the home page, so here is this icon will be explained about the which release we are in. So that is the winter 24 icon. So whenever we are switching on, you can identify winter 24. Or else if you go to the setup, so here is the icon, this will explain it, winter 24. Every release will be having a different icon. Now if you go to the classic, in the classic also you can identify. So if you go to the classic, switch to the classic. So in the classic, here it is winter 24 for developers. So this is the winter 24 icon. So by looking at that icon, we will be able to identify which release we are in. So that's about the releases.